Andy here, and today I have another book haul for you. So most of these are from my used bookstore. I have been stuck in my house for so long because it's like 105 degrees every day where I live. It's been such a miserable summer. Last Friday I was like, I'm going to the bookstore. It's cold in there. So I went and I picked up a few books. I wasn't looking for anything particular, but I think I got some really cool stuff. All of these are horror slash thriller except for one book, and I'm sure once I show it to you, you will not be surprised at what it is. So let me grab them and then let's get started. Okay, so the first book that I got from the used bookstore is called Spiral by David L. Lindsay. The only thing that I read was The corpse lie in the dry heat of the Houston morning sun. Inside the gates of a crumbling mansion, a spike has been driven into its skull. Dot, dot, dot. And there's also an address in here. Apparently we're supposed to go to 2110 Hollywood Way at either 9:54 or 10:12, which are very specific times to have a sort of meeting. But anyways, so I picked this guy up. This was a half off sale, so this guy was $1.50. I think this was in the horror section, but it could have been in the thriller. I can't really remember. So it just looks like it's about a detective who's hunting down a Latin American death squad sworn to political assassination. So I don't know, it seemed interesting. I didn't really read the back before I picked it up, but the cover had me intrigued. This is the only non-horror book that I got in this haul. This is Kurt Vonnegut's Breakfast of Champions. I know that you guys are not surprised that I had to pick up another Kurt Vonnegut. This was $2.50. With the half off sale. I didn't even read what this is about because honestly it doesn't even really matter at this point. Most of Kurt Vonnegut's books are, like I told you before, half fiction, half nonfiction, and most of them have this like alter ego that is Kurt Vonnegut's alter ego called Kilgore Trout. It just says one of his favorite characters, Kilgore Trout, finds to his horror that the Midwest car dealer is taking his fiction as truth. The result is murderously funny satire as Vonnegut looks at war, sex, racism, success, politics, and pollution in America and reminds us how to see the truth. So mostly that's what all of his books are. His books are so bizarre. So he always has Kilgore Trout in there and he talks about him as if he's a real person. Then he kind of talks about like war or politics or things like that. Then he talks about his own personal life. Most of his books have very similar vibes, or at least the books that I have read, aside from maybe like Cat's Cradle, which is a bit different. I don't think Kilgore Trout is in Cat's Cradle. I don't think so. But anyways, I just had to pick up another Vonnegut book. I just love him so much. His work is so weird. Like, weird is the only way I can describe him. His writing is so bizarre and unique and just wonderful. I just love it so much. So anyways, Breakfast of Champions. I don't know what this one's about. Oh no, I just read it. Okay. So I'm not going to show you this one book because I'm doing an entire video on it and I feel like that would be boring if you guys already knew what the whole video is on. The reason I showed you that was because I had a $25 Amazon gift card that I think my husband just found in a drawer and he's like, here, buy some books. And I was like, don't have to tell me twice. So anyways, I had $25 and I bought this specific book for a specific video, and then I could get this one with this one combined to make $25. So I got this one. It's called Pen Pal, a novel by Dathan Arbach? That's probably not correct. But I've seen a lot of people review this book online and I think that they enjoyed it. From what I can remember, I've just seen this everywhere. So it's one of those books that I'm like, I've seen it everywhere. I've got to read it myself. It was pretty cheap. I think it was only like $9 or $10. And it says, in an attempt to make sense of his own mysterious and unsettling childhood memories, a man begins to reconstruct his past. As the game and adventures of his youth become engulfed by a larger story, he finds that it forms a tapestry of unbelievable horror that he never could have expected. Wow, can I read? No, I can't. I'm illiterate. Each chapter completes a different piece of the puzzle for both you and the narrator, and by the end of it, you will wish that you could have forgotten what he never knew. And so, I don't know. It sounds interesting. I've seen it everywhere. Let me know if you guys have read this book. Super excited about this guy. I also have a few more, so let me grab the other one. But those two books were from, like I said, Amazon. They weren't from the used bookstore, so they were full price. Just a few more left here. So this one I was very excited about. So I got this Sue Grafton book, and she has all of these, I think she has A through Z, and they're like, A is for alibi, B is for burrito, C is for cats, but they're all horror related. That's not really what they are. I got one a long time ago that's like S is for... Can I think of one word that starts with S? Snakes or something like that. And I wanted to read it, but I really wanted to start with the first one. I don't think that they're all related, and I think you can pick them up kind of wherever, but I really wanted to start with the first one first. So every time I've gone to this used bookstore, I've looked for A is for Alibi. They've never had it. Dun dun dun! Until now. I knew one day they would have it, and alas, today is the day. So I found A is for Alibi. I'm really excited because I feel like once I get the idea of the first book, then I can kind of start wherever and it doesn't matter. But I really, really wanted to start with the first one first. So this was $2.50, and I think this is actually an older book. Yeah, this was written in the 80s, 82. I'm really excited to read this. A is for Alibi. If there's one thing that makes the detective feel alive, it's playing on the edge. When her investigation turns up a second corpse, more suspects, and a new reason to kill, the detective discovers that the edge is closer and sharper than she imagined. I just think that this is going to be such a fun whodunit type book. Did I already say it was $2.50? I think I did. Anyways, the next one that I found, I was pretty excited about because this is another one that I've seen all over the internet, and I think it's a newer horror book as well. This is called A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill. But when I got home from the bookstore, my husband pointed to this book and said, "Oh, what is this book?" And I said, Cosmetology of Monsters. Cause I'm an idiot. And I think this is a newer type book, like I said. Let me see when this was published. Yeah, 2019. So I was really excited to find a newer book in the mix. They're getting some really good stuff into my used bookstore. I just found The Hellbound Heart, which, if you guys don't know, is the novella that Clive Barker wrote and then made the movie Hellraiser from. So I got this. I have no idea what it's about, but I have seen it all over the place. So I really wanted to give it a read myself. And it says, Noah Turner sees monsters. His father saw them and built a shrine to them with the wandering dark, an immense horror experience that the whole family operates. Noah Turner sees monsters, but unlike his family, Noah chooses to let them in. So I don't know, it just seems fun. Let me know if you guys have read this. There's like a quote from Stephen King on here. Brilliantly combines the mythos of H.P. Lovecraft with a contemporary story of a family under threat of destruction from supernatural forces. So I don't know, it seems interesting, and I was excited that there were newer books at the bookstore because I think most of the books that I've gotten there have been quite old. So I was excited to pick this guy up. This one was $3. Come on, $3 for a 2019 horror book? The used bookstore is just such a magical place. And then the very last book that I have is Clive Barker's Weave World. So this guy was $3. I haven't read the synopsis or anything, but the Clive Barker books that I have read, I've really loved. Not all of them are necessarily the genre that I'm into, meaning they're all horror, but a lot of them are more kind of fantasy based, and it's not really what I would typically read, but all of them are so amazing. Clive Barker is a genius, and you get like a little peek inside his head every time you read a story, and it's quite terrifying in there. But this one I just picked up at random. I thought that it looked pretty interesting, and it was a hardcover, which I don't think I have any Clive Barker hardback books. So it says, let me try to read this as a human. Here's storytelling on a grand scale, the stuff of which a classic is made. Weave World begins with a rug, a wondrous, magnificent rug, into which a world has been woven. Oh god, this sounds so cool already. It's a world of the seer kind, a people more ancient than man who possess raptures, the power to make magic. In the last century, they were hunted down by the unspeakable horror known as the Scourge, and threatened with annihilation, they worked with the strongest raptures to weave themselves and their cultures into a rug for safekeeping. Since then, the rug has been guarded by human caretakers. The last of the caretakers has just died. This sounds so cool. Vying for possession of the rug is a spectrum of unforgettable characters. In the course of the novel, the rug is unwoven, and we travel deep into the glorious raptures of Weave World before we witness a final cataclysmic struggle for its possession. Come on. Come on, Clive Barker. Can you be any cooler? This sounds amazing. Let me know if you guys have read this. I can't believe I got this for $3. I'm really excited to read this guy. I have a few Clive Barker books that I really need to get into, so maybe I should go and do that now. Anyways, that is it for my book haul. Oh, let me tell you how much I spent. Where did the receipt go? Altogether, for these books, I spent $13.69. I got, how many books? Yeah. I got 5 books for $13, and then I got 2 new books for $25, and then with tax they came out to like $28. So I would say that this was a pretty successful haul. Again, let me know if you guys have read any of these. That is it for today's video. Feel free to subscribe and stick around. I have a lot of really cool horror book and horror movie videos coming up within the next few months. And I will catch you on Thursday with another horror video. Bye, guys.